It is a snowy day here in Colorado, so we're going to be making a video in the garage, and we're going to be talking about the carbon ceramic brakes on the new Mercedes AMG and the carbon ceramic brakes on our NSX. I'm going to be comparing them and telling you how different they are, because they really are different. Now, this isn't my first time owning a car with carbon ceramic brakes. My very first car was a Porsche GT4, and I had PCCBs, which is the acronym for Porsche's carbon ceramic braking. And the first time I ever drove the Porsche and I pressed that brake, it was an eye-opener. Carbon ceramic brakes are very grabby and very cool, and also very smooth, but they vary within the manufacturer. So let's go ahead and kick off my biggest surprise yet, and that's going to be Mercedes AMG's carbon ceramic brakes. Now, first and foremost, these are the most grabbiest brakes I've ever experienced in my life. As a matter of fact, with the Porsche GT4, like the first time it caught you off guard because they're very different from your traditional steel brakes and your regular brakes. It caught me off guard, but after that, it was pretty easy to like modulate and to feel the pedal. But with the AMG GTS, it is very, very grabby. So like we're talking about, like you have to put very tiny amount of force on the brake pedal because this car stops super fast. Now, I just bought it and I'll get used to it over time, but I immediately noticed that these brakes are super intense, and they're very unique compared to the Porsches. But how do they compare to the NSX? Well, the NSX carbon ceramic brakes is a very different feeling in general from anything I've ever felt, because it really doesn't feel like a carbon ceramic brake experience. If you've driven cars with different carbon ceramic brakes, you'll immediately know that they have their own characteristics, but the NSX is very user-friendly. Like you could totally drive it every day, and you can even let someone drive it who's never driven a car with carbon ceramic brakes, and they really wouldn't notice because it doesn't have such an aggressive a setup. It's not like super sensitive. So I thought that was very interesting how different the three are, and I would say that the NSX is the most user-friendly. It has carbon ceramic brakes and it brakes well. I would say the Porsche GT4 is kind of the best of both worlds, where you get that feedback, like you get that grabbiness, but it's not oversensitive. But I do like these carbon ceramic brakes on the GTS because they let you know they're there. It's a whole different experience. And also, it's kind of neat. Like, you've got to, as a driver, I love driving, I love motorsports, and I feel like it's one of those things that like you'd appreciate, and I'm going to appreciate as I own the car, because there's just a finer type of driving you have to do when it's that sensitive. So I'm really excited about it. I'm also excited to give it a little bit more braking power in the future to see how it reacts. But I thought I'd make this video because it's really interesting to see the differences right away in these cars, and it's just cool to be able to experience these different types of braking systems. All right, guys, stay tuned for more awesome videos, and I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.